Hello online community, this is D the Firefly, bringing you personal finance from the garage. Now, no personal finance channel will be the same if we didn't talk about compound interest. I hear two schools of thought on this. Some people are saying, oh man, that sounds like math class. I don't want to go back to school. Come on man, why are you doing this to me? Other school of thought I get, because I studied chemistry, and all my friends are math nerds like me. We had to study up to something called vector calculus. And if that sounds like gibberish to you, that's just math in 3D. So when you're on the other side of the spectrum, you'll be thinking, man, compound interest is so easy. I could do that in 2 minutes. Either way, it's important, and it's an equation that affects all of us in all parts of our life, really. So, today I'm going to talk about it and show you that even if you don't know how to work a calculator, you can still calculate compound interest. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Hey, what's up? I'm back in the bubble. Not been having the best luck recording this. This is trial 3. Let's see how it goes. This is your big equation right here. The one that scares y'all if you're scared of math. But don't worry about it. We're going to get through it. Now, A here is the amount of money you're going to accumulate after a certain amount of years. This could be accumulating for you or against you, whether it's a savings account or investment versus a debt. I'll get into that later. P here is your principal amount, the amount of money in the account right now, today, as you're looking at it. R is going to be your interest rate as a decimal. Interest rates are real important. You should know what your interest rate is on all your accounts, or at least have it written down somewhere. What it is on your savings accounts, what it is on your credit cards, what it is on your auto loans, your mortgage rates. Yeah, knowing these interest rates can really help you with these equations and just knowing how much money you're going to need in the future, how much money you're going to get, how much you're going to have now, and just planning your life. Knowing's half the battle. N is going to be the number of times interest is compounded per year. Oh yeah, they got the different terms, but it's kind of self-explanatory. Annual means your interest is going to compound once per year. If it says semi-annual, that means twice. Quarterly is going to be 4 quarters. Monthly is going to be 12, and daily, I guess that would be 365. I didn't know daily existed till I was doing research for this video. And then I think I got everything. Principal, rate, T, number of years the amount is deposited or borrowed for. So yeah. So let's say you have $100 in an account, and it's at a 10% interest rate. Now that's really high. Very high, actually. I think that's like what the market's been at the last couple of years. I don't know, I'll do some research on that in another video. Say you got it compounding annually, that's once. I think that's the lowest amount of money you can make. And then after 1 year, putting $100 in at a 10% interest rate, you would get $10. Or the amount of money you would now have would be $110. 10% of 100 is going to be 10. So say you do that another year. You're compounding now $110 at 10%. 10% of 110 is going to be 11 now. So after 2 years, you're going to see, boom, you got $11 added to 110. You're 121 right now. So the interest compounds upon itself. Every year, that new amount you get gets the same interest rate added to it. And that would allow your money to grow in an account. That's kind of one of the principles of investing. I think the main principle of investing. So if you look at this over like 10 years, now you're going to see you got, $259 in an account just by leaving money somewhere with a higher interest rate, doing nothing. You've more than doubled the amount of money you were going to make after 10 years. I mean, that's why it's important here for knowing what your interest rates are for sure. And $100 is nice, but let's use it in a debt example. So $100 looks good, but you want to see some real numbers. Maybe you got student loans. I did some research right there, and it looks like the average student loan balance for college grads is about $30,000. Yikes. Interest rates can go up to as far as saying 14.25%. So that would be 0.1425 as a decimal. Let's say they really don't like you, so they're going to compound your loans monthly. And after 1 year of this, you would have an extra $4,000 added to your loans. Granted, you're going to hopefully be paying these down as you go, but that's $4,000 extra dollars you're going to have to be paying just because it took you a year to pay this off. And with $30,000, kudos to you if you can pay that off in a year. So say it takes you about 10 years of working to pay off all these student loans. You loved your college, you got a good job, you finally were able to work it down. But now if you check this out, you got, I can't even read that. Is that $1 million? No, okay, that's $123,700, give or take. So you're now paying 4 times the amount what it actually cost you to go to college just by waiting these 10 years. And that's an issue because a lot of times it's real hard to pay back your loans. You're trying to get a job. I'll do a video on getting a job, later down the road. But it's tough. I think average unemployment is 3 to 6 months time period. Takes a while. You can change your compounding to annual. That'll help you out a bit. But it's still rough. I got some federal student loans. I know those go down to 6%. So you're doing a little better, but you're still $20,000 extra dollars just trying to pay down that loan. So that's some dark, sad, realistic examples. But, that's an example of compound interest in student loans. Let's see it in a savings account. Savings accounts I've seen these days in July of 2019 go as high as 2.5% to 2%. That's if you have a super good bank. So let's say you got your first job, you're making minimum wage, so you're making maybe $25,000, $30,000 a year. You're able to save $1,000 a year. If you get that in a 2% bank account, which is realistic, after 10 years, you only got about $200, which, that's nice. That's 20%. But as you can see, compared to student loans, compared to debt, which I'm going to show you in a second, compound interest usually isn't working for you when you're trying to make money. And it's usually working against you when you're trying to pay it back. That's because of the interest rate right here. All right. So I've gone full nerd on you. I made this whole calculation on a spreadsheet by myself. You probably aren't going to do that for fun. But the one thing about human beings is that we are consistently lazy. And we will always find easier ways to get things done. So if you don't feel like using a calculator, like I promised you in the intro, you can go to 2 of my favorite sites. Investor.gov has a calculator, and I'll put that down in the description below. You can put in your initial investment. That would be your principal. Even your monthly contribution. So how much you're going to be adding to an account. Length of time in years. Oh yeah, they got interest rates down here. Variable interest rate. With a lot of investing, things can fluctuate between especially in the stock market. We've had crashes and things. They can go real low, 4%, and sometimes they can be real high. I think it's been 10% the last couple of years. You can see your compounding annually, semi-annually, monthly, daily. So let's do the $100 example I put in. We got $100 in here. Monthly contribution, 0. Length of time in years, 1. Estimated interest rate, 10%. Ooh, I think you can just put in 10 right here. And calculate that. Shows you right here, after 1 year, you'll have $110, like I was saying. And what's good about this online calculator that you can't do as easily on a spreadsheet is that it accounts for monthly contributions. This is a government site, so, thanks to U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission for helping us out on that one. So let's go back to the young college student. Just got a job. You were able to save $1,000 your first year. Say you can cut real tight. You can get $100 into your investment, into your savings. After about, let's say 5 years out of college, you have an interest rate of 2% because you got a nice online bank and you got annual compounding. So if you see that after about 5 years, you can see that you'll have about $7,348, even though you contributed $7,000. So yeah, more money is always going to help with your compound interest, because if there's more money for the interest to work off of, it's going to get you higher numbers. Another website I like to use for just a lot of things is calculator.net. I'm using their investment calculator for this example. But they have a bunch of calculators over here. Mortgage, auto loan, real estate, amortization. I don't even know what that is. I'll look it up one day. Currency, inflation, all that. Loans, mortgage payoffs, budgets. And they've got some crazy calculators too. See, fitness, health, math, pregnancy calculators. They got everything here. That's another one of my favorite resources. I'll put the link down in the description below. And yeah, just check these out. But I guess the point of all this is to say that, compound interest is pretty important. It's probably talked about briefly in school. You weren't paying attention or something. Or maybe you know about it, but it's like not in the back of your mind. Or maybe you're tired of hearing about it all the time. Either way, it's just one of those things that's part of adult life, and it's just part of knowing the numbers. A tool that can help you succeed and move along your financial journey. I hope I made this less intimidating. I hope it made it less scary. And I hope this can help you with budgeting, getting it together, taking care of business. Getting to financial independence, or retirement as it's called, is a journey, and it's going to take a while. But it helps if you know the numbers. Thanks for watching. I appreciate the continued support. See y'all next week. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, like, comment below. Tell me what kind of videos you want to see, I'm doing this for y'all. So take care.